Oh, uh, hmm. Oh, looks like everything works so far, which is really crazy to be honest, because nothing worked today. Hey, hello, welcome everyone to Reading Friday. A name I just came up with, which is the worst name you can imagine for anything to be ever named. Let's get some humidity going for a bit, so I don't dry up during the reading. Yeah, hope you had a fantastic week. Hope the weekend is starting. Please be reasonable and responsible. Don't get yourself sick. And maybe hang around with me for next hour or so. When I yap, then I read, and then I go away. I really have no idea. I'm still not sure what to do. I have some not successful shots, but things I did, then still it won't attract anyone to the streams. But I don't know whether I would like to have someone in my stream or not. I feel like it might be stressful. It might be even difficult for me to some degree. But we'll see. That plus me being absolutely terrified and boring person to watch for a stream. But again, I feel like reading the book is justified. If you are interested in the book, just, yeah, go on. Hang around and let's go. We are on part 8 at the moment, out of 16, so we are exactly on halfway point. Today's part is a bit shorter than it was, that every other part was. But it's like a perfect length for me to read in one go. I know there are coming some parts that will be quite long, because I will have trouble splitting them up. Because as much as I hate cliffhangers, there are no real way to save everything from them. Like, there's no way to not do any cliffhangers. Either I do a cliffhanger or spend 7 hours reading, so basically that. A few thoughts. What I did today, I spent 6 hours finishing editing a video. I will do like a whole recap of this entire process of making a book. It's a piece for me to like get a closure on the book. It's a fun project for me to learn editing and other YouTube related stuff. And then it's also for you, if anyone is interested in writing or doing anything creative with that, then yeah, I think it's will be worth checking out to some degree. Like, even if I'm not speaking anything coherently good enough, you can learn from the mistakes I made. And let me tell you, there were a few. There were really a few mistakes I made. But yeah, back to editing. I was editing for 6 hours. Then I realized there is a certain limit of the text box that DaVinci Resolve has. And I put more than 300 clips or text into the video. Luckily, I didn't fill them with text yet, it's just text box ready to be filled, but positions and everything, yeah, I made them up. And then I realized there is a limit, which I didn't extend. So I had to spend another hour remaking every single one of those clips to have a bigger size, and I really pray it will be enough. I'm not sure. Did some basic testing before I started to re-put everything. When worst comes to worst, I will just split some text into smaller ones, and it should be fine. Yeah. Right now, content for now is me having closed my eyes and talking to you something, because my eyes are killing me. The amount of blue light I absorbed today was enormous. It's painful. And I'm sleepy and I want to go to bed, but it's not something I will do. Yeah. I had to read to nobody and then make a story out of it. I am really wondering, like at this point in creation process, I'm really curious about opinions. Like for example, previous part, the part 7, where we had the start of the training arc and everything, I put a lot of effort into basic text, like subtitling the entire video. Most people would generate the subtitles with AI, which isn't bad. I don't have that option with DaVinci Resolve because I'm using the free version. I absolutely would use that with if I could, but I don't know how good it is compared to normal text. Like because with normal caption style, you have a different specifics field for it that you can fill, but it's very basic. It's just letters and words. It's very, very basic. But then if you use the Text Plus, which I'm using right now, you have video editing for that, the transitions, fade in, fade out, multiple layers. There are many, many things that you can do, like how is it called, the caption thingy, keyframe, key point. You can generate key points and do the animations of everything. So that's something I maybe could explore. Yeah, that. Now that I think about it, I have an idea where that could be useful. But yeah, let's hope I don't forget it, because that would be pretty dumb. But also, as with everything there is, as with everything there, you have to rest for a bit. Even though today will be the stream day, the reading day, and I will have stuff to do, like like editing what I will just read, which honestly will be abysmally bad, because as I said before, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, my ass hurts, and both ass and eyes. I guess I've been cycling today, and the city's rough. It's only -6. It's not perfect condition for cycling, but it is a condition, so you can go. I survived. It was cold, I hated it, but I had fun. Anyway, yeah, today will be awful. Also, I kinda know that the stream at Friday at this time is not really the best idea. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So far, I'm trying to be consistent and do what I do. Anyway, I feel like it's... Yeah, I yapped about what I wanted to for now. So let's go into the story. Last part, Miss Richards talk about changing the lessons plan, everything that happened, and first sight of the entire field, like the huge open space with grass, the trees, the things that normally don't exist apart in the middle of the ocean on a ship thingy. Goodbye. This is so weird. Yeah, let's go. Start recording. Oi! Oh, Yuki! She noticed his brown head coming towards her. Without a second thought, she threw herself at him. Hey! Stepping to the side, he barely dodged her. Do you have a minute? For you always! Bailey stood up and replied cheerfully. I don't know many things, but it looks like something strange is happening here. More training, constant surveillance. It's too fast. Hmm? She thought that was normal here. Blonde Devil didn't seem surprised. Is that a problem? Is that a problem? I wouldn't call it a problem, more like inconvenience. Yuki continued. You have your own reasons to be here, and so do I, but we can both gain if we stay under the radar. Oh, have I done something to offend you? She tilted her head, trying to figure out his reason. No, I just have a proposition. Help Miku learn how to use her powers. Can't you do it yourself? Sounds like a pain in the behind. She turned away, seemingly angry. I could, but you already showed a few people what you can do. Having silver powers makes you more suited for that than being empty. Ha! Don't make me laugh, she mocked him. I don't like her. Find someone else. If I do it, people might realize that I'm not as useless as I tried to be and move me. Every power might be rough in a month, but not impossible. Leave it to me. Belle turned back instantly with excitement in her eyes. You should change your tune quick. Yuki just sighed. If I can do anything for you in return, just name your price. How about a kiss? She came closer to him, active seductively. Sure. Right here. She touched with her finger to where her lips would be under her mask while still coming closer, their faces almost touching. Of course. But if I also want more? Belle asked as her finger started to wander on his chest. Would you still be fine with it? No problem. For a few seconds they stayed like that, frozen in time. The end of the lesson started to grow closer as the artificial sun took on an orange hue. You are no fun, you know that, replied Belle and turned away once again. I'm not the one getting flustered here. I told you can have anything you want from me. I'll think about it. Face covered by a pink blush, she was playing with her thumbs while looking at the ground. You said before that you love me, Yuki continued. We barely know each other, so maybe you should give it some more time. Maybe I should, maybe I won't. There are things in this world that even you cannot explain. She calmed down and sincerely gave her reason. Maybe because I was told to, maybe I feel sorry for you, or maybe it's because I can feel something familiar, something reminding me of my past. We'll see where that leads me. I'm sorry, but my heart is already taken. It's okay. Love is a war, and I'm ready for a cheap fight, teehee. She laughed, not bothered by it in the slightest. Don't you mean a fair fight? No? Why would I play fair? That sounds so dumb. Looking back at Yuki, her blonde hair waving in the wind, she smiled. You really are no fun. We have to work on that later. I'll keep you to that promise. He smiled in reply. Belle is smarter than she thinks, but only if she cares. While she doesn't have the same problems as Yuki does at that moment both of them knew his fatal flaw. It will only get worse as the time goes on. It might be a month, 2, a year. His actions will catch up to him eventually. Acting smug and childish, yet there was another message underneath. Love isn't about winning or losing. Both of them knew that. It's about trust, support, mutual growth and happiness. Even if you lose, you can both enjoy the spoils of that war. Even if only one of you is happy and complete in the end, you grew, you learned, you didn't give up, and at the very least the other person is happy. Hand in hand, both of them went towards the tree to meet with the rest of the class. "Hey, Miku!" yelled Amy from afar, running towards her friend. "Hey, had fun with your group?" Miku replied politely. "I think the fun part had just begun. Gale is really strong, you know? That giant can already control a bit of his element," complimented him Amy. "I think I might be jealous." "I mean, both of us can do the same, but knowing he just joined is pretty impressive indeed," continued the thought Jane. "Makes you wonder how much more we need to learn to be ready." "Probably a lot." Amy stood on top of Miku's toes and helped her up. "Thanks, Amy." "You're welcome." "So, want to go to the gallery after?" asked Jane. "I don't know. I think I'll rather go back home and get my thoughts straight. Thanks, though." "Sure," Jane replied as she watched Miku distance herself from them. Looking at her made Jane's heart ache. Nobody she wouldn't even budge, but now Miku looked hurt. "Any ideas?" "Not really. We shouldn't meddle if she doesn't want us to." Jane saddened. "Bay really is a monster. Yuki doesn't want to deal with it." "That's rough. I might have a plan, but we need to get better at using our powers so we actually have a valid reason." "Don't tell me." "Yes, exactly what you think." Amy laughed loud. "I'm itching for a rematch, but don't think I'm ready yet. I have a vague idea what I need to work on though." Jane started to laugh. "Really? I wonder which one of you is a bigger monster." "Hey, stop it!" As Jane ran away in playful fear, Amy quickly followed after her. Truth be told, well, while most thought she was just better, nobody ever noticed how much better. Until the last few weeks, Amy was always able to match her strength and technique to her opponent. A delicate balance of still winning easily, but also not giving away too much. During her sparring with Bale, apart from being ridden with doubt and fear, she let loose a bit of her inner self. It wasn't even close to enough to take her down, however. Someone who bested her without problems, paired with what Yuki said, finally gave her a reason. Stagnant and bored, a light shone through the broken ceiling, marking the rebirth of her resolve. This is a tongue twister. Gathering at the tree in the middle, the class left the fields in organized fashion as the sunset slowly turned to gloom. A guiding light showed them the way. Maybe it was only a week into November, but days were getting very short. At the entrance to the school, Miss Richard thanked everyone for today, and everyone went their separate ways. Miku shuffled away towards the student apartment with most of the class, yet keeping her distance. "Want to go to my place?" asked Bale in the distance. "Only if you go to my place." "Why? We won't be together." "That's the point," shut her down Yuki as she laughed in reply. You know, somehow I feel sorry for him," Jane remarked, staring at the scene with Amy. "Yeah? I don't know if it's because the way she acts or what she says, but it makes me sick." Last to leave the school ground, the girls split. Jane left for the library to borrow a book for tomorrow, as Amy went to the gym. For the plan to work, she had to get better, not only at using her power. She was training daily and doing special practice once a week, but without any challenges it became dull, slowly reigniting her passion for perfecting herself because, in fact, chasing a dream is more enjoyable than reaching it. Sorry, had to clear my throat. After the history class the next day, students took a lunch break and proceeded to the outside of the school. Miss Richard proposed to drop the home class for them to go home an hour. Yep, here it is. Miss Richards proposed to drop their home class for them to go home an hour earlier and rest. She waited patiently for a bit of quiet and asked politely for her pupils to squeeze in the middle. Standing next to the door and the school security system, she put a key in and turned it. The ground shook for a little while, and a weapon locker emerged from both sides of the entrance. This is an emergency catalyst lockers. In the event something happens, and students are forced to take action, this is where you can get equipment. She stopped for a second and gathered her thoughts. Not trying to scare her students, but it was important for them to know. For now, your cards have gained access to them, so we can use the catalyst for our lessons. Until now, only proven candidates could access them, but so far there was no need for it. Go ahead, try your cards and get a catalyst for yourself. While the young adults opened the lockers and interacted for the first time with a forearm-long white baton, which was the catalyst, Miss Richards watched them closely. It was a training model, and only people who were proven to control the influence could get them fitted to make it better. Still, it was a dangerous tool, and letting them interact with it for the first time outside might be foolish, but it was a conscious plan. Miss Richards was close to each of them and would be able to help them suppress the effects sooner. While most students had no problem with the catalyst, obviously, Yuki couldn't touch one because it would instantly bruise his hand. Nobody was surprised by that, yet Belle also had a suspicious reaction. Her poor health and immune system were the issue, as the catalysts were a mixture of different materials and chemicals, which in turn caused an allergic reaction. Red inflamed spots started to appear along her hand with a swell rash. It went away as fast as it came without any issue, but she would require a specialized one to use it at all. "I'm sorry, babe, are you alright?" asked Miss Richards. "Yeah, just itchy," she replied calmly, rubbing her palm. "But you would be prepared since I had a lot of medical tests during it. Done before the entering. I can't tell for sure since I'm not responsible for that, but I will keep an eye for it from now on." It wasn't as serious as Yuki's reaction would be, nor did it need any treatment for that time. Still, it worried her, not because of the issue at hand, but because of how poorly it was planned. "Okay, everyone, take your catalyst and let's slowly make our way towards the field." Same as before, the class went into the left and headed underground. Standing before the tree, Miss Richards explained a bit more about today's lesson. My bad. "Any questions?" she asked the class. Where Seth and the rest?" asked Maria, looking up from behind her blue hair. They are resting. I don't know a lot myself, but they won't be back for a bit longer." Trying to act polite, she explained calmly, but the problem was that nobody knew. The boys had an accident last week and remained in a coma with barely any brain function. Miss Richards couldn't tell them that. "Miss Richards?" Jane tried to say something, even though Miko asked her not to say anything. "Were they in an accident or something?" No, I don't think so. Why do you ask?" replied curious teacher. "I don't know, just had a thought." Jane mumbled her reason, as the guilt of somehow being connected to that was eating away at her. "Okay, I promise, if I know anything concrete, I will share it with all of you." Storm sitting down for now, Miss Richards led the class towards the practice spot and showed them how to practice. Each team had its dedicated spot, with absorbent pillars spread over that space. During the walk, Amy poked Jane and scolded her since they weren't supposed to talk about it. Whether Miku had a valid reason for that or not wasn't the issue anymore. Fingers would point to them no matter what, and the entire situation was so unbelievable that there would be no explanation. Since nobody asked them about anything, there is a high chance that there is no evidence of their meeting or any suspicious activity. How would they even explain a brick golem deactivating Seth's power and destroying his knife? Nobody would believe them. Time after time, Miss Richards showed everyone how to train and, more importantly, how to be safe while doing so. She went back to the tree and kept on watch over everybody while Yuki sat beside her, reading from his tablet. Moisture for the throat. Yo, you already know how to do everything? Asked Belle, approaching Miku from behind. While her tone was playful, she was serious. Not really, she responded silently. Although she didn't have any particular feelings about Belle and was happy with what she was doing, her voice still shook. Then stand up! We have a lot to learn, right? Smiling, she extended her hand, still being cheerful. Why do you care? I can learn on my own. Don't need your help. You say that, but without him you could achieve nothing, you know? Retracting her hand, Belle straightened herself. Her voice took on a more serious, even sinister tone. You're a worthless worm, a waste of space. Even looking at you make me feel discomfort. All you do is drag him down. I cannot compete with someone so low. At least make it a challenge. What do you mean? Oh, you mean how do I know about you and Yuki? She smiled under her mask and in an instant went back to her serious voice. You can act however you like. You won't fool me. All you do is hurt yourself, which I don't really care about. Yet he only sees you. I need you to get better so he can stop worrying about you and rest a little bit. So if you could help a sister out, okay? How can you teach me anything? We are the same age. Maybe you got here later. I don't believe you learned anything before coming here. Believe what you want. I owe you no explanation. Belle stopped, letting her think. Amy should have already told them how exceptional she is, but because he asked, her hands were tied. What a pain in the behind. Why do you care about this infection so much? She thought to herself. She was right though. Miku realized that. She needs to be stronger to stand alone. If she realized all of that, there might be more people who could feel something isn't right. Relying on someone and receiving help, it was her first time when she found an obstacle she couldn't deal with alone. So, Yuki already told you about the connection between feelings and the power, right? Well, he isn't wrong, it's your fault for not asking more. Belle sat next to her, twiddling with a small stone in her hands, displaying her skill. With a flick of her finger, she sent the stone flying so fast that an explosion deafened Miku. Don't worry, nobody will notice what I do, so even if you try to tell anyone, they won't believe you. She smiled wildly under her mask and continued. What do you feel is important, but also its meaning? Fire is ferocious, angry, ever hungry and devouring, but also warm, pleasant, provides safety and cooks food. My favorite is wind, powerful, dangerous, whimsical but also free. It can help people grow and level an entire city in the next minute. It doesn't care, but everyone needs its favor to survive. Another long break for Miku to collect her thoughts. While Belle was drowning in disgust, it was okay. He asked her. There was nothing she wouldn't do for him. Even spending time with those insects was bearable. Be a good girl and go play by yourself for a bit. The less I have to be involved, the better. Do you really think this will help Yuki? Miku stood up and looked into the sky, hoping. Shut up. Who knows? Belle hesitated. Gods should never mix with cattle, but here we are, she thought. The world is a dangerous place. If you think I'm evil, I have bad news for you. In a strange moment of sincerity, Belle exposed her feelings. Why do you assume I think you are evil? You want to help Yuki. Because if you don't, you are even dumber than I thought. Belle responded with anger and disappointment. Really, what does he see in you? After a bit of thought, she continued. You are still here? Go on, shoo! You are on borrowed time anyway. Once he's bored with you, there will be no one to protect you. As Miku went closer to the obelisk with her catalyst in hand, Belle watched her closely. She's not hopeless, but a waste of effort for sure. Throughout her 16 years of life, Worf never connected to people. Always on the run, fighting for survival on every step. There was no place for kindness in her world, as nobody ever introduced the concept to her. The strong rule over the weak, and since she had the power now, the world was her playground. She finally could do whatever she wanted to and play with her toys as they had before. If not for him, if they met sooner, maybe she could have a friend to play with all those toys together. Now it looks unlikely. First person to defy her, but at least he is fun to play with. A cold chill went down his spine as the blonde devil looked his way. Was she thinking about him? Of course she was. Zip. CP. Over the last week, Bale achieved her initial goal. Yuki looked at her and she garnered his attention. While his feelings for Miku were true and only, Bale had started to appear in his sight too. Maybe spending time with Miku will show her a different perspective. Maybe she will find some answers within herself. Maybe she will see the world partially as he sees it. Or maybe she will grow more resentful towards people. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, if he tempered her in the right way, if he kept her happy, she could become a great ally. Although she was nothing but indifferent and hostile towards him, Miku knew her plan didn't work from the start. Bale coming into the picture made her happy, yet the same issue persisted. Nothing else to do than to take her advice. Perhaps, if she indeed grows stronger, he can finally let go of her and be free. It hurts, she thought. But it's the right choice. I don't want to hold him back anymore. New resolve pumping through her heart, yet still for all the wrong reasons. Thinking about her feelings and trying to connect elements to something, Miku struggled greatly. Her world was too perfect for her to be emotional. Learning never posed a problem, she had plenty of friends, never got into any problems and always had whatever she wanted. The princess who stepped down to earth for the first time had to see that nothing is given. Fire is fire. What do you mean, but what does it mean? Fire is warm. Fire is warmth. Water is change. Earth is reliability. Wind is freedom. Nature is forgiveness. Energy is power. Light is safety and darkness is lack of light. Leisure, trust. But what now? It was nothing more than an exercise without any artificial meaning behind it. Will that work? Nothing feels any different than before. The catalyst didn't react. The obelisk is still there, blank. Nothing new. Discouraged, but her heart kept throbbing like it wanted to tell her something. Tomorrow there will still be a day, and so the next day. She has plenty of time. Do you think she can master her power in time? Asked Miss Richards. How should I know? Replied Yuki. I don't know. Just thought maybe you might. Miss Richards laughed. Somehow it feels weird seeing both of them spending time together. Why? Well, it's rare to see a friendly competition over such a serious matter. I don't think you should talk to me about that. Without even batting an eye, Yuki responded emotionlessly. You're right, I shouldn't, she replied with a smile. I also should report you for manipulating another student who is in dubious state at the moment. Less pleased, but still calm, Miss Richards continued to speak. At this point we are partners in crime, so the friendly teacher-student interaction doesn't apply. Silence. It wasn't awkward, more like hostile. For a second Yuki thought about taking action, but after some thinking, he knew she didn't pose a threat. I don't know if what you are doing is right or wrong, but I know you are beyond whatever anyone can control, she continued. I kept seeing the shadow following me, never coming too close, but close enough I can feel the threat. Same one I had a dream about when you lost consciousness in my lab. Don't worry about it, Yuki assured his teacher with his emotionless tone. I said I'm sorry for dragging you into this, but the more I explained, the bigger the issue will become. He paused for a moment, and his voice saddened. Seth wasn't a bad person. His upbringing was poor, and he was misguided. I'm not responsible for him or his well-being. Still I can tell you, instead of 4 students, you would lose 9, and cannot even tell how many more people would get involved. Yuki, what is going on? Miss Richards wasn't alien to people not telling her things, but this was different. He was alone, against everyone. Even people responsible for his safety were oblivious to what was going on. If I could tell you, there would be no problem with it, would it? Just tell me two things. Will everything be fine, and do you have a plan? I don't know, and I have a general idea for a plan. Nothing of this concerns you. I would take the best possible path to cause the least trouble for everyone. I see. As reassuring as empty words can be, for her there was no way that was the best path to take. With how limited her information is, maybe it really was. Doesn't mean she could ever accept it. By the way, the substance that Bale is allergic to is aluminium. It's used in powdered form in catalyst, which is more reactive and can penetrate deeper into the system. It's why she reacted violently to the catalyst, but not to daily things. They will figure it out soonish. I guess I shouldn't tell anyone? She asked curiously. I don't mind either way, as long as you frame it right. The information should be in her file, but assuming you don't have access to it, you can make a suggestion based on an educated guess. Yuki explained carefully. Sure. His knowledge goes beyond any reason. He has access to things that only a selected few know about. She works there and doesn't know anything about Bale. What question, however? Why are you telling me all of this? Why not? He asked, surprised. What do you mean? I could be recording you, setting you up. Things, you know. Pretty sure you should realize the stakes by now. Yuki wasn't thrown off by her way of seeing the world. It was even refreshing to talk to someone who doesn't see only the darkest part daily. I think I'm just bored and don't have many people I can talk to. Or just feel like I'm progressively losing myself, and I'm afraid of what's to come. Then why are you doing this? You are 16, you have your whole life ahead of you. There must be something we can do for you. Can't tell for sure, as I don't understand the entire thing perfectly yet. If there is a way, I will let you know, but I doubt it. I don't have the courtesy to hope anymore. While speaking, he wasn't sad. It was compliance. It's fine, though. There are things to be done that only I can do. Okay, just know, since I'm already part of it, you can always talk to me about anything. I sure will, replied Yuki. Having someone to keep him grounded will absolutely be something he could use, just Miss Richard might not be the best fit for the role. After all, 1 second of pulling your guard down might end with someone losing their lives. Bale, Gale, shadows, maybe even something that isn't accounted for yet, like Seth's accident. There was no time for him to rest at any moment. Even when he loses consciousness, the security he put in place takes care of everything. It strains his body, but it had to be done. Soon after, Miss Richards got called to one of the groups for help, so she had to leave Yuki alone. From that point on, the lesson got pretty busy for everyone except for the special group. Miku made no progress, and Bale was bored out of her mind watching over her. Overall, the first day of their actual practice went well. There was no incidents, and the class made substantial progress. 2 months was slow, but comparing the ages between classes, it was an acceptable pace. That, and while pod training was safer, it was much slower. Accidents were uncommon, but the great majority of them happen a long time after the obelisk training. Each person has their own style and technique, and developing them is difficult. Amount of influence, control of it, shape, form, usage, everything has its own problem that every student has to conquer on their own. A month is still a short time to master any of those skills, but the test will also check their quick thinking and planning, along with general knowledge. This is still a military facility, and tactics were also pushed onto Miss Richards to teach her class on a later date. And that's a wrap. That's 28 minutes of recording, minus some things here and there. The part on YouTube will be 25-minute-ish, something. I don't know. No, see. I see I had a viewer for like a few seconds. Oh, something clicked. Not well. I wonder who that was. Like, No chats, nothing. It's okay. Hmm. I will quickly be right back and we can talk more. Ooh, guess who's been talking without volume, without while his mic was muted? It was me, this guy. Yep, the purple blob. Yeah, what I talk about was the book is starting to get more interesting, which is cool. I think I did it a bit too late. And next time I will probably try to do more hooks, like in the beginning, to make it more interesting and to spread the action. Because from now on, basically, there is a build-up to a setting, and will be culmination, then will be slower time to... No, I don't think there will be, actually. There'll be another build-up to another section, which is also kind of weird, because there's back-to-back build-ups that might be tiring. But then after the action, there is actually a bit of a slower part before another action, which will work well. But biggest mistake I made is I didn't do any action, anything important in the first, I'd say 20-30% of the book. I don't know, maybe just stories. Poo-poo, and nobody wants to read it. But more of that thoughts will be out in the video. Next week I won't do a short Thursday. It will be a video day, probably. I don't know, I'm trying to do uploads one a week at least. As I said in the beginning, I want to be consistent and I treat this more like a hobby than anything else. It's starting off, like, you don't see that people don't say it. It's a lot of learning, a lot of many mistakes over and over again, and it is what it is. kinda. Yeah. So book over. Uh, ready, Yora. Evil one, the more grounded person, the one from the earth, actually. I guess that more personal skin. I feel like I'm getting better. Like last week I had a crisis. I couldn't really read, I couldn't focus on anything, I felt really bad about this, but I feel really good about this week. Like what I read, I feel like it was very decent, at least. Uh, I changed many bad habits in my life. I don't know if I should say a few things. Maybe I will keep some things a secret, but I've been having a lot more movement lately after being stuck to a chair or a car or anything else or any other vehicle. I'm trying to reintroduce movement into my life. Having a sitting job is not the best, it makes you really lazy. And then again, I also quit the short sticks of death, also known as SIGs, more than 2 months ago. I feel like my body is still recovering from it. It's difficult, it's a long process. I don't feel the urge to actually chase anything right now. I do have other issues, but so far I feel like my throat is getting healthier, my breathing is getting healthier, I can speak clearer and better. And as at the beginning I felt like high-pitched voices really hurt my throat, it's getting better. This one, for example, was massive. So far it was the biggest chapter. No, not the chapter. It was the longest, the most Bale speak, and her voice, the kind of high and but a bit soft tone, is really hard to upkeep for a long period of time. At least for me, for now. When the throat gets cranky and soft and crickly, if that's a word, it absolutely starts to getting a bit deeper, which I try to counteract, I guess. Again, I'm doing a lot, and I'm trying to get better, even at the voices. Yuki is Yuki. That's very simple. I really cannot make every character have a different voice. There's so many characters in this book. Maria, I just improvised. It's a lesser character, so I don't feel that much pressure. She has few more lines in. It's absolutely okay. I'm more worried about Jane. Like, her voice might not be distinct enough. Like, it's a soft, maybe a bit higher, but it's a softer voice tonation maybe here. Amy has a cadence. Amy has a different normal voice. It's slightly higher than I normally would use, but the cadence is faster. Like, she speaks faster and more energetic. Miku would be voice very here, very quiet, and maybe even hoarse to some degree voice. Very quiet, very soft. And then you have Miss Richards. I don't really know how to explain that voice. It's on my normal voice, but a bit softer, trying to maybe mimic how she would speak. I don't know. I'm quite happy with how this all turns out. I'm getting better at voices, I'm getting better at reading. Uh, the most important part is I got used to actually sound of my voice and how to control and shape it, which is quite interesting. Yeah, back to the habits. I changed a few things. I moisturize, I clean throat with salt solutions and everything else. I do warm-ups, I do exercises to make everything as best as I can. I'm really trying hard to be better. Maybe not each day, but at least each week. And I think like the most important part of all of that is I actually see the difference. Day after day, I can see the difference in maybe even editing some files here and there, but I can actually see the difference in how I read of things. It's quite fun. Yeah. Anyway, the Rambler is gone. I feel like he should be green. Absolutely, this model should be green. The normal model should be green. I should be green. I'm the yapper. I'm talk about things that aren't even relevant, but I still do because I'm unhinged. I'm a schizo. And I will talk for hours about nothing because I know. I wonder. I'm still figuring YouTube, and I posted a no short, I guess, mentioning alcohol, which is a massive no for YouTube. I absolutely forgot about it. Forgot about that part and that everything is nuked by advertisement. And yeah, drinking poison not the best phrases to have in the algorithm. Maybe I will push the next stream a day earlier, Thursday. But I kinda like Friday. The next day is Saturday, it's free, you can rest, you can relax. And an hour-long stream reading and figuring things out is not really not a lot. And 6-7 p.m. Depends how you like to spend Friday. Like if you are cozying up your home, it's probably a decent time-wise. It's a bit before any shows on the TV starts, like the good shows. Maybe if you're going out with friends, then at 6 p.m. you'll be out. Maybe at 8 p.m. Kinda depends on your friends group. But I don't know. Many thoughts, no real rhyme or reason behind them. I don't know. Like, humanity is very weird. Like, how many things are predetermined? Like, how many things that I don't know were already solved? Like, there is a golden hour for everything. The time of the week, what is best for whoever it is. But I don't really know. I don't want to fall into that. I don't want to go in the path of everyone. Like, I know I could get better results with doing many other different things, but then again, it loses your soul. Like, you lose a part of yourself. I know. But now I'm still in the creation zone. Purple Yora is Yora. That's me. Hello. The red Yora would be real life, kind of immersion break. It's the more grounded person here. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, as the hour coming to an end, and since my eyes are literally closing at the moment, I'm really tired. Too bad that one person who viewed this didn't really say anything. I'm still waiting for the first chat. Maybe I should. Maybe I should type a message before and pin it next time. Where's the top chat? Making live chat. The current viewers chat rate. But I mean, one view is better than 0, so it's still progress, right? I guess that also should be red one. Huh. Like, those are all the things that you don't really think about when doing anything. When you are enjoying the content and thinking about all the stuff, you don't really think about the amount of thoughts and everything that's going on. No, we'll see. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for being part of this journey of mine and being here. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. If you are still at work, I hope you will get through it and start resting. Let's all have a fantastic weekend and be safe and healthy. That's the most important part of everything. Safety and health is the most important part of all of that. I really should fix that model. I really do. Or maybe I should just keep my mouth more open. I don't. At this point, I have no frame of reference. I can see that it works, but when I turn around to see it, the entire magic disappears. Like, I turn my head and I don't see it anymore. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely it. My eyes are closing and I'm yawning. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging around. If you watch the VOD, don't be afraid. Next time, come, say hi, come into the chat. I will be waiting. Maybe I won't reply what I'm reading while I'm reading, but I will reply and make sure I address everything later. Okay? Yeah. Thanks and see ya. Have a fantastic weekend and stay healthy and safe.